All right, so moving on to the final segment, I'll be sharing my WWE Wrestlemania Night 2 summary. So WrestleMania 41 is officially in the rearview mirror. WrestleMania 41 Night 2 has come and gone, so I'll be sharing my summary on the WrestleMania that just took place moments ago worldwide across the world. So to kick off WrestleMania Night 2, you had Io Sky successfully retain her Women's World title, defeating Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match for the opener of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. Now, this triple threat match was perfect for the opener of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. All three women, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, deserve their flowers and deserve their credit for making this match feel like WrestleMania vibes, a great opener, and making women's wrestling shine. I mean, all three of them headed out of the ballpark. The match was well-paced, fast-paced. It was a great style for all three of these wrestlers. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley being two powerhouses, but they have no problem at all mixing in their style and their wrestling abilities with Io Sky's high-flying abilities and her quickness in the wrestling ring. It worked out perfectly, but I like the spots that I saw in this match. All three women did good working together. You had sequences of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley going one-on-one, sequences of Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley going on one-on-one. I like the 450 splash that Bianca Belair hit on Io Sky. It was picture perfect, but the ending sequences of the match, you had Bianca Belair pull Rhea Ripley off the top rope, trying to hit an EST on her, only for Rhea Ripley to counter out of it, and Bianca Belair pulling her back braid and whipping Rhea Ripley, hitting her in the midsection, with Bianca Belair hitting the EST on Rhea Ripley, only for Io Sky to come out of the sky, hit her finishing moonsault, taking out Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, and that's all she wrote. She pinned Bianca Belair to retain her Women's World title. Now, I have no problem with Io Sky retaining the title. I think she has a lot to offer in this women's division on Monday Night Raw, or depending on if she gets switched over to the blue brand of Friday Night SmackDown. I think Io Sky is going to be a tremendous world champion. Meanwhile, for Bianca Belair, if I'm the WWE, I would pay attention to this, because I understand that this match for WrestleMania had three baby faces, and somebody's going to get booed. But Bianca Belair was the so-called villain in the WWE Universe's eyes. She got booed overseas when the WWE was doing their world tour for the World of WrestleMania, and she got booed in the States, and just got booed between the three respective wrestlers in a jam-packed Las Vegas Raiders stadium that had over 60+ thousand for night 2 in attendance. I would pay attention to this for WWE and possibly test the waters on a Bianca Belair heel turn. Don't give it to us quickly, but test the waters. Have Bianca Belair start to tease the moment of her turning heel, and then boom, turn her heel, and you could possibly have another box office attraction in the women's division as a heel and Bianca Belair. The last time we saw her as a heel was during her days on the Black and Gold brand in NXT when Triple H was running NXT. So I think this would be a good idea, but Io Sky retained the title here. I have no problem with it. The next match, you had Damian Priest defeat Drew McIntyre defeat Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight in the second match of the night. Now, I thought this match was great, and these two respective wrestlers beat the hell out of each other, pillar to post. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest hit it out of the park. They heard the noise around the internet, I guess, about the WrestleMania match. Both of them wrestled like they had a chip on their shoulder, proved tonight why they both deserve to be on a WrestleMania slot, and they performed well. Drew McIntyre actually grabbed a phone again and did his famous WrestleMania tweet saying he was bored at work. Well, this year, he took a selfie with Damian Priest and tweeted, "I'm bored at work." And the tweet blew up, over 60+ K likes in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes on Twitter. So I can only imagine what the likes are at now. But as I digress, the spots were crazy. At one point in the match, Drew McIntyre dodged a throwing chair that was being thrown at him by Damian Priest, countered that into hitting a Claymore at Damian Priest. Then Damian Priest had a chair wrapped around his neck, still delivered a bona fide chokeslam on Drew McIntyre. And Priest also paid homage to Scott Hall, a.k.a. Razor Ramon, hitting the Razor's edge on Drew McIntyre from off the top ropes, driving them through a table. But the ending sequences of the match was pretty bizarre and crazy as well. Drew McIntyre crashing Damian Priest through 2 tables, and then Drew McIntyre throwing Damian Priest into the corner, the ring post where there was a steel chair. Damian Priest falling face first into the steel chair, turning around, and Drew McIntyre hits a finishing Claymore on Damian Priest for Drew McIntyre to get a solidified win, which I think it was important for Drew McIntyre to go over here. He needs to get back into the main event slot in terms of fighting for a world title, whether it's going to be on Raw or SmackDown for the future. But Drew McIntyre needed a big victory here. Plus, he already got screwed over for a year being in selective programs with Damian Priest, getting screwed over left and right. So Drew McIntyre getting the win over Damian Priest was the right call here, and I was a fan of the big match. Now, next match, you had Dominic Mysterio defeat Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta in a fatal four-way match to become the new Intercontinental Champion. So this was one hell of a fatal four-way match. I think Michael Cole even touched on it, the first ever fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental title in WrestleMania history. So that's pretty crazy stat that WrestleMania has been around for 41 years. But as I digress, all four of these men hit it out of the park. They really went out of their way to make this fatal four-way feel important for the prestigious Intercontinental title being on the line. There were several near falls, great spots. The Mexican Destroyer that Penta hit on Finn Balor. Braun Breaker basically killing Carlito, spearing him through the announcer's table. Carlito, that was all she wrote for him for the night. But I gotta say that Dominic Mysterio winning this match made me very happy. I like the ending sequences of Finn Balor hitting the coup de grace on Braun Breaker, only for Dominic Mysterio to come in and hit a frog splash across the ring on Braun Breaker, and Finn Balor pinned Finn Balor, his Judgment Day mate, to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Listen, the ovation that Dominic Mysterio got holding the Intercontinental title, like father, like son, I've automatically remembered Rey Mysterio holding that coveted Intercontinental title, winning it at WrestleMania 25 against JBL. I thought of his late great uncle Eddie Guerrero holding the Intercontinental title. I'm like, this is perfect for Dominic Mysterio. And this is a perfect time to turn him babyface. The crowd loved it. The man even went back in the ring, ran past Finn Balor and Carlito to celebrate with the WWE Universe hoisting that Intercontinental title. A new star has been born. It's been well overdue. I'm so happy for my guy, Dominic Mysterio. Has done tremendous work as a great heel. And I think he'll do a tremendous job being the Intercontinental Champion, holding the the workhorse title in the WWE, holding that prestigious Intercontinental title. But Dominic Mysterio going over here, I have no problem with. And let's go ahead and test Braun Breaker in the main event scene. Let's get him starting the main event, getting infused with main eventers, possibly get pushed to a world title feud in the future. But I think we could possibly see Dominic Mysterio leave the Judgment Day or get kicked out of the Judgment Day. And then we have a Intercontinental title feud between Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor for the future. But nonetheless, I am happy that Dominic Mysterio got the victory here. Now, in Randy Orton's open challenge, he faced TNA champion Joe Hendry as his mystery opponent for WrestleMania. Now, no problem with Joe Hendry being the mystery opponent of Randy Orton. I thought it could have been a guy like Rusev, we'll probably see very soon in the WWE. I know he's re-signed. Aleister Black, who's re-signed with the WWE, possibly Sheamus. I'm just glad it was not Solo Sikoa. But as I digress, I'm glad that Joe Hendry was the guy, because Joe Hendry has been very familiar with the WWE Universe. He's worked on NXT. He was a part of the Royal Rumble, got a huge pop during the men's Royal Rumble match, and got a huge pop from the Vegas crowd, 60+ thousand tonight, when his music hit, and he was Randy Orton's mystery opponent. So, the match wasn't long. I mean, it didn't have to be long. The fact that just Randy Orton got his 20th WrestleMania match, and due to the circumstances of Kevin Owens unfortunately having to be pulled from the event, I don't think anybody's really going to complain about this. I mean, Joe Hendry got his moves in on Randy Orton. Randy Orton got his moves in on Joe Hendry. Randy Orton won the match with Joe Hendry looking to the camera and smiling, taking in the aura, the moment, only get hit with a random RKO out of nowhere. Randy Orton goes over on Joe Hendry. The right call for Orton to win his 20th Mania match. And we'll possibly see Randy Orton challenge for the WWE title at Backlash in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. And I'll be getting to the WWE title scene in a few moments. But as we go down the rest of night 2, next match you had Logan Paul defeat AJ Styles. Now, this match was decent. Decent match. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I just expected more out of two wrestlers that can go in the ring. AJ Styles is the modern day Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels can have a good match with me, and you guys out there watching, listening, could have a good match with a broom and a dustpan and have a 5-star classic. But I think AJ Styles and Logan Paul, I don't know. It was decent to me, but as a viewer watching at home, I'm expecting this Vegas crowd to continue this energy of being ramped up, and I didn't see that. And maybe that's why the match was a letdown for me. I don't know. But it was just a little slower pace. But the second half of the match did pick up. It was interesting because towards the end, you had Karrion Kross save AJ Styles. AJ Styles was about to get hit with a pair of brass knucks by Logan Paul's friend. I think that's somebody he does YouTube business with. I could be wrong, but as I digress, AJ Styles basically turned away Karrion Kross's offer, using the brass knuckles to his advantage to win the match, and that backfired. Logan Paul took advantage, and that's all she wrote. Logan Paul won the match. But love or hate Logan Paul, I think you guys got to give Logan Paul his flowers and his credit, because the man can go in the ring. The man has the aura. The man is, he should have left that boxing shit alone, to be honest, because the man could go in the ring, and I wish he joined the WWE Universe a little sooner, because, yeah, a lot of people don't like him and his brother Jake, but at the end of the day, you got to respect their hustle and their grind, and Logan Paul has found something for him that he's really good at, and that's wrestling. And for somebody that's only been in the business for 3 years, I would take Logan Paul's in-ring style over half of the main roster today. That's how good Logan Paul is in the wrestling ring. So we'll see how WWE takes this. This is back-to-back big WrestleMania victories for Logan Paul, something to keep an eye on. He defeated Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match last year, WrestleMania 40, Night 2 for the United States title, to retain his United States title. And then this year, he just defeated the phenomenal one AJ Styles. But it's still, as long as AJ Styles has been in the WWE, and he's had some Mania matches against Chris Jericho, Edge, Randy Orton, The Undertaker, LA Knight, some all-time greats. But it's mind-boggling to me that AJ Styles' best WrestleMania match is with Shane McMahon. Out of all the names I just mentioned, Chris Jericho, Edge, Randy Orton, The Undertaker, LA Knight, it is crazy that Shane McMahon is his best WrestleMania match. But we'll go ahead and move on to the co-main event. You saw Becky Lynch and the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria they did successfully defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez to become the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, if nobody else is going to say it, I'm going to be the one to say it. I think that's complete bullshit that the WWE wrote off Bayley for WrestleMania Night 2 to have Becky Lynch return and be Lyra Valkyria's tag team partner. Now, you guys, I do like Becky Lynch a lot, don't get me wrong, but you guys would shit on it if it was Charlotte Flair or somebody that you did not like that took that spot from Bayley, that has been busting her ass on all three brands over the last few months. Someone that just won the Women's Royal Rumble last year and defeated Io Sky for the Women's World Title Night 2 of WrestleMania 40 last year. You mean to tell me there's no Mania match for her this year? And you give it to someone of Becky Lynch that has been out on the shelf for 11 to 12 months, not a part of the company? Come on, we got to play a spade and call it fair. I think that was complete bullshit, but all seriousness, this was a good tag team match. And I guess when you think about it storyline-wise, that it was okay for Becky Lynch to be a part of the match. Not the way they wrote off Bayley. It should have just been Becky Lynch all along, but for storyline-wise, I think it was okay because Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan had some unfinished business. Liv Morgan was the last person to defeat Becky Lynch in their steel cage match last year on Raw for the Women's World Title. That was the last time we saw Becky Lynch. But overall, good tag team match. I was actually surprised that Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria won the titles, and I don't know where Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez go from here. I mean, it's unfortunate for Liv because she's done some great work, and another title has been taken from her. So, as it stands, Lyra Valkyria is the Intercontinental Champion and a Women's Tag Team Champion. Lyra Valkyria, 2 belts. Becky Lynch being the Women's Tag Team Champion. So, it seems like she's back in tag team wrestling. But I want to see how Bayley responds to this because someone did attack Bayley before Night 1 of WrestleMania 41 started last night. And Lyra Valkyria was told by Adam Pearce that she had 24 hours to find a new tag team replacement. So, we'll see if this is going to be an ongoing storyline in the women's division on the Monday Night Raw brand. But to close out the segment, let's get into the main event. You had John Cena defeat Cody Rhodes to become the new WWE Champion. He has now broken the all-time record of WWE World Title reigns established by the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Cena holds the title with 17 World Title wins. Now, I actually liked the match. Don't get me wrong, I did like the match. And the slow-paced style, it did take a little bit getting used to of Cena being a heel. And that's how heels wrestle. They take their time, they get their feet wet in the ring, and then they start going to have a good match. That's what Cena did, in my opinion. But I think we got to get used to that for the rest of his run, or however long this heel run lasts for, a slow type of style match. But I think it was good between Cena and Rhodes up until the finish. But midway through the match, it gave me Hollywood Hogan and The Rock vibes of their Mania match years ago, where it was flipped. Hogan was the heel but got cheered by the crowd. The Rock was the babyface but got booed by the crowd. So that's what the vibes gave me at the midway point of the match. But John Cena hit a total of 4 AAs on Cody Rhodes. The finish just pissed me off. Why did Travis Scott come out if there was not going to be The Rock? Why did John Cena evidently turn heel, selling his soul to The Rock, if The Rock didn't want to show up to work after the Elimination Chamber? Why did Travis Scott get a big WrestleMania entrance, walk his ass down the ramp, only to get crossroads by Cody Rhodes, and now that's all he played in the match? And why was the finish of John Cena basically hitting a low blow on Cody Rhodes and then bashing him with the WWE title, and Cody Rhodes contradicting himself if to hit Cena with the title or not because he's a baby face? That finish was not it to a match that was actually going pretty good. Where was The Rock? Where was Stone Cold Steve Austin? Where was some outside interference? Is that all it took, Travis Scott's help, for Cena to win his 17th world title? I mean, come on, I need better booking than this. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that Cena won, and he deserves it in his final run, but the booking here, that was lazy booking to a good match that didn't even really need Travis Scott. And now, WWE has a tall task to fill, or a tall order to fill, because if all along The Rock made John Cena turn heel and he never showed up ever again, what was the point of this? We could have just got a babyface versus babyface, a change of the guard type of match, instead of Cena turning heel. I mean, we got to have these heel runs mean something. And right now, I am very disappointed that there was no Rock, someone that turned Cena heel so he could win his 17th world title, and he didn't even show up to the damn event. So that's something that we're going to have to see as these weeks go on. Maybe Cena's heel run does make sense more as the weeks go on, but I didn't see anything that meant he sold his soul to the devil. And when him, The Rock, and Travis Scott joined forces at the Elimination Chamber. But overall, for WrestleMania Night 2, they brought the heat way better than Night 1. I don't know what the heck happened with Night 1 again. My Night 1 rating was a 6.5 out of 10 stars. Tonight, much better. I give it an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10 stars. Everything was good for me except I would say the only downfalls was the AJ Styles Logan Paul match. Like I said, decent, but could have been much better. And the finish for that John Cena match. Overall, the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk main event of Night 1 was the overall best match of WrestleMania this year. And to be honest, the way how the finish was last night compared to tonight should have been the Night 2 main event, because Paul Heyman joined Seth Rollins' side was unexpected for a lot. I knew it was coming, but unexpected for a lot, and was a much better finish to their match instead of tonight's match. So that's my take on WrestleMania Night 2. We'll see how WWE moves forward, because now this is the transition period. They have their hands full to tell new stories and call up new people from NXT and get things going. Plus, I want to see how Cody Rhodes bounces back into the world title scene. Does he go after an automatic rematch against Cena, or do they face each other down the line 2025 in a possible SummerSlam rematch? But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.